Welcome to Therapy by Gabby. I'm Gabby. I'm a licensed therapist. I practice in Wisconsin, and I talk about things for therapists, therapy goers, and the mental health experience in general. Today, I'm going to talk about a document that I created on how to connect with a therapist. It's got some great tips and resources on there. Before we jump into that, I do want to address that if you see anything like this on my neck and maybe on my face underneath my makeup, that it is nothing to be concerned about. I just have really sensitive skin, and I had a sleep study a couple nights ago, not last night, but the night before, and they just put a bunch of medical devices all over you, like they tape them on there. And so because my skin is super sensitive, there's a little bit of a reaction going on. Now that that's out of the way, we can jump into it. Now, obviously I can't speak for everyone, but one thing that was never taught to me personally was how to find a medical provider that was going to be a great match for me. Someone who was specialized in my experience, someone who was relatable, someone who was going to actively listen and really take what I shared about my experience at face value. I didn't even know any of the stuff that I'm about to share with you until I became a therapist. Therapists know that the most important part of therapy is the relationship between therapist and client. And that is going to be one of the biggest factors in the amount of progress that clients make. Now, just from personal observation in my clinical experience, when I've had clients who come into therapy who have been to therapy before and say they didn't have a good experience, it's usually because they were not a good therapeutic match with their therapist for whatever reason. This is why it's so important to know how to find a provider that's right for you. Therapy can cost a lot of time, energy, money, emotional exhaustion. You go to really vulnerable places, and if you're going to do that, odds are you're going to want to do it with somebody who you feel really gets you. So whether you've been to therapy before but didn't have a great experience, or you've been wanting to go to therapy but holding off on searching because you just don't know where to start or don't even know how to find a therapist that's the right match for you, I hope this will be empowering and help you to feel more confident in being able to give it a try. So I do have my laptop to the side of me over here, and I will be looking over here referencing my tip sheet as I'm sharing this information, because there's just no way I can remember all of it off the top of my head in an organized manner. I have 3 tips on how to search for a therapist. The first one is using a therapist directory. So therapist directories are online platforms where you can filter through therapists that are within your state or within your city. So if you didn't know this, therapists can only work with clients who are physically located in the state that therapists are licensed in. Now, I'm specifically speaking about the United States because that's where I practice. I'm not sure about other areas, so I just want to put that disclaimer out there. So, for example, I'm licensed in the state of Wisconsin. I can only work with clients who are physically in the state of Wisconsin, whether they're physically in my office or if they are, physically somewhere else in Wisconsin and we're meeting virtually. When using the therapist directories, you can filter through all the therapists that pop up for your state, city, zip code, by insurances that they take, their out-of-pocket costs, their specialties, the therapeutic approaches that they use. There's lots of other ones as well, but those are just a few examples. Online directories that you could look into are Psychology Today, Mental Health Match, Therapy Den, Inclusive Therapist, Therapy for Black Girls, and Open Path Collective. There are some other ones out there, but these are just couple of ones that are very popular. Open Path Collective, this is for those who are experiencing financial hardship. I'm not super familiar with their requirements, but essentially the way that it works is if you make under a certain amount of money, you pay a one-time lifetime fee to have access to the directory, and then you get access to therapists who have reduced fee spots available. And I believe currently the range of reduced fees is somewhere between $40 to like $75 a session. I could be wrong, don't quote me on it, but it's somewhere in there. And you get access to fully licensed therapists, associate therapists, and training therapists. My next tip is if you have insurance and want to use your insurance for therapy, you could give the customer service number on the back of your insurance card a call and ask them to either tell you or send you a list of referrals for therapists who are in network with your insurance. And you can either browse through them online or give them a call to get more information. My third tip for searching for a therapist is if you're comfortable being open about the fact that you are hoping to get into therapy, You can ask friends, family, loved ones if they've ever been to therapy and if they have any recommendations. They might have had a really great experience with a therapist in the past that they might give you the name of, or they might say, hey, my therapist works here, and I can ask them if there's any other therapists at their practice or if they have any referrals, and then I can share that with you. Let's say you've completed your search and you've narrowed it down to maybe 2 to 5 therapists that you think could potentially be a great match for you. And now you've gotten to that point of like, okay, what do I actually need to know in order to decide which therapist is going to be the best match and have the most effective therapeutic relationship with me? If you didn't know, most therapists will offer a free 15-minute phone consultation to chat about working together and to help you assess if this will be a good therapeutic match. Now, this isn't always true. Like sometimes agencies or group private practices won't do this, but you can always ask, and the worst thing they can say is, we don't offer that. Let's say the therapist that you've narrowed it down to do offer a 15-minute phone consultation. In no particular order, here are some questions that would be important to ask. Do you take my insurance? And if not, what are your fees per session? Do you have experience working with clients who have the same concerns as me? What is your approach to working with clients who have the same concerns as me? Working with a therapist who is insert certain identity, so for example, the same age, same stage of life, has kids, in alignment with my values, political beliefs, part of the LGBTQIA plus community, etc., is important for me to feel comfortable. Based on what I have shared with you, would we be a good match? When do you schedule sessions? My availability is, share availability. Do you offer in-person therapy, virtual, or a combination of the two? What do sessions with you look like? How long are your sessions? What should I expect for the first session? How often will we meet? There could be so many other questions that you could explore, think of yourself, but these are the main ones that typically come to mind and are things that I think about as the therapist when I'm doing a consultation with a potential client. I hope this video was helpful for anyone that is starting to look for a therapist or was hoping to get more guidance on how to start searching for a therapist. I hope you'll find that really great match and enjoy your therapeutic journey. If anyone is interested, if you go to my channel and click on my link tree, I do have this tip sheet linked in there, so you can have it all laid out in front of you and you won't have to remember this all off the top of your head when you have a phone consultation. If you like this video and want to see more therapy content, it would mean a whole lot if you liked and subscribed. You can also follow me at Therapy by Gabby on TikTok, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.